Okay. Okay. This I guess it's 3 o'clock, and we'll start on time. The others will join as we progress. So, good afternoon, each one of you. I am Sujit Nair, and I am the co-founder and the director of technical operations with Spectratix. It gives me great pleasure to welcome each one of you to this program, which is we have coined as Spectratix Knowledge Series, where we try to bring new experts from who are really good or industry experts from their own fields, means any field that is relevant to the pharma industry, and where we feel that the new generation of employees or employers, whichever way you take it, or even students who are entering this field or who are in the process of selecting a career in that, there where this is where we try to help them out in selecting their careers, and also who are in the field, they will be they will stay updated with the latest that is happening in the industry. Many of them have given some wonderful feedbacks that throughout our the full 1 week which we have from Monday to Friday or Saturday, depending on which field you are working, there we don't get an opportunity to learn things or get back to the learning process. There we are so busy with our day-to-day affairs, but this platform, that is the Spectratix Knowledge Series, gives you an opportunity to get back to that, or gives you the reason to have or start learning new things. At least we introduce new concepts. Similarly to that's with that vision only Pharmagan Academy has been formed, where we try to impart the knowledge whatever we have gained throughout our careers, which and this is where today's topic also comes up, that is clinical research. I'm very sure that each of the participants who are taking part in this session knows the importance of clinical research, and especially at this time where India is also very poised to take advantage of the new things that are happening in the field, and clinical research has become a very important part of this industry. And I'm really happy to welcome Mr. Amit Jadhav to this session. As always, I don't take much time speaking on from my side. It is always the speakers that should get the opportunity to have or utilize the maximum time, or we do maximum justice to the 1 hour that we have. Introducing Mr. Amit Jadhav, he's a graduate in pharmacy from Pune University. He has more than, I guess, more than 11 to 12 years of experience working in the clinical field. And he's currently associated with TCS, Tata Consultancy Service, where he is associated as a manager. And he has worked with many sponsors and many critical projects. As I can see from his resume, that he has worked with many means very different confidential clinical trials with respect in different therapeutic areas. That he has a vast experience working in cardiovascular area, musculoskeletal, respiratory, oncology, arrhythmia, every that particular aspects he has covered, and he is the right person to guide us with respect to the clinical research. And the theme which we selected was the careers and the challenges, especially what of course you should be also be aware of challenges that are associated with any field before you enter the field. He is also a process trainer and a subject matter expert in his domain. And on his upskilling part, he has recently completed generative AI leader certification from Google Cloud, and he has been trying to incorporate these learnings into his day-to-day affairs, as far as I understand from whatever I had the discussion that we could have. Okay, and he is also a certified project management professional from Project Management Institute of America, and is currently working to incorporate these concepts also into clinical operations. So I welcome Amit Jadhav sir to this session. So you can take over from me here, sir. Thank you for joining the session.
Thank you, Sujit. Thank you for this brief introduction. It was really helpful, and thank you for setting up the stage. So, hello everyone. As Sujit has introduced you, yes, I am the person who is a pharmacy graduate and been working in this industry, the clinical research industry, for more than a decade now. So I'll be sharing, the main career options that are available in clinical research. This is not exhaustive list. These are, very, we can say, very prime roles that are there in clinical research field, and also the challenge that the newcomers or the freshers, or other professional aspiring clinical research professionals face while trying to enter into these fields. So I'm just starting to share my screen. If anyone can confirm if it's visible, then it would be useful. Is it coming fine?
Yes, yes, visible.
Okay, thank you. All right. So my introduction has already been done. So I have segregated this presentation into three parts, like why clinical research, why it is kind of a booming industry and long lasting industry career compared to the other fields. Then what exactly needs to be done in order to get into this industry, what is the required things that are required to be understood by any professional in clinical research industry, and how you will be getting there. So let's first understand why to choose a career in clinical research. So there are many facets to this particular question. So one and most important point is high global growth. So as you can see around, since even COVID-19 was the latest trend, we can say in COVID-19 you must have experienced all the pharmaceutical players that were there. They all were investing hugely in clinical trials, but it just one rare example because of which people started noticing that okay, this is also a field. But this industry is ongoing since many years, and it's a very high growth industry, we can say, because billions and billions of dollars are put in into research, clinical research. If you will take any example, any renowned pharmaceutical industry, for example, Johnson and Johnson, Pfizer, Novartis, anything, if you will look at their market share now, so in case of their revenue utilization, whichever profits that they are generating, out of those profits they are mandatorily reinvesting 20 to 25% in clinical research. Why? Because they need to stay ahead of the race. They need to continuously invest in this clinical research, so that new solutions, new treatments, new diagnosis methods can be invented, and those can be useful. Because by only investing in new approaches, they can stay ahead of their competitors, because it's a very very tough competition out there. Second point is India. So India, why India? See, I'll tell you very frankly why India is kind of a global hub for this clinical support services. Because Indians are the people who are very good English speaking nation. Okay, so because of which we understand and we collaborate with them very clearly, and we work in their timings as well, and we are having a setup that is already there in place. Since 1990s we are providing support services to them, so systems are there in place. That's the reason why we are getting lot of chunk from them. Because see, even though these major players are from US, European markets, or Japan or China markets, then there again they require supports to continue operations of these processes. That's where Indians come into picture. Next is high demand specialized roles. So all this particular this clinical research is having designated roles available. It's not like you will be working today on some one part of data entry, next day you'll be working on data management part. No, it's not like that. You are having your career aspirations, career growth available in each domain. So you can expect very good career growth in this particular field. Then strong job stability. As I said, since a lot of investment is being done in clinical research field, there is no challenges as such in this particular field with respect to job stability. Yes, I do agree that you would have come across certain posts saying that AI is hampering this, AI will lead to job cut and so on. But it's not completely true. If you are ready for upskilling part and you will stay on top of your game in terms of the skills that are required, in terms of even AI, if you are understanding what AI is, if you can incorporate AI in your processes to make sure that they are leaner, stronger, effective, then you can definitely survive in this industry. So upskilling is one part, and continuous learning. So those are the things which will help you in job stability in this field. Then skill based career. So as I said, if you keep on learning new things and you keep on incorporating them in your day to day activities, then you will definitely find your career growing in one direction, that is upwards. So that's the reason why these are the few key parameters. That's why one should choose a career in clinical research. Then moving on to a typical career graph of a clinical data manager. This is just an example of one of the domains that I have selected. So as you can see here, once you start in this industry, you are a fresher. Then after a couple of years of experience, you become. Wait, have not started my pointer, I think. Yeah. So once you start your career, you are a fresher. So once you acquire experience, let's say a couple of years, so you progress into new role, that is data manager, where you start taking some accountability of activities. Then after that, you become a lead data manager. Let's say 4 or 5 years down the line. So in this role, you are communicating with the client, understanding the requirements, like what exactly needs to be done from operations part. Then after that, you move to managerial roles. This is the role which I am right now. So this role you can acquire, like you can be in after, let's say, 8 to 10 years maybe. And in this role, you are responsible for managing these all associates, along with that the delivery portion. So if everything is being done, that is my part. Then how people are collaborating with each other, how team is functioning, how people are evolving, to look after is my part. Next person that I report to is associate director and then director. This is just a short summary of typical career graph that I have provided here. There are other facets as well with this particular thing. You can become subject matter expert, and you can excel your career in technical roles as well. So there are no limitations as such. You need to choose which path you need to take, and accordingly you need to upskill yourself. Then the salary trends, that is very dear topic to everyone. What exactly is the salary that we are expecting in clinical research? So this is kind of a median or average salary that we can say. So for freshers, around 2.5 to 4 lakhs per annum, that is the salary range. This is just a median salary. Again, I'm emphasizing here, this is again based on how your interview was, what's the requirement of that particular company, then what was the budget available for that role, and also how skilled you are. So based on that, for an average person, very average person, a fresher salary will be approximately 2.5 to 4 lakh. Then in 2 to 4 years experience, you can expect salary range into this range, that is 4 to 8 lakh. In 5 to 8 years, it will be around 8 to 15 lakh, and managerial leads will be 15 to 30 lakhs. So here you can see a vast difference. This difference is because of your upscaling part. Like in these many years, see, I'll tell you very frankly, in 10 years of experience, not necessarily everyone will be performing at the same level, or everyone will have acquired the same expertise as that of another. So based on your skill set and how you have excelled in your career, this salary range will differ. So that's the reason why this upscaling part is very much important. Moving on to the corporate benefits that are available apart from this salary. So performance bonus is also available in this field. So like whichever your performance is for the entire year, that is usually estimated or assessed based on typical goals or attributes that are there. So if you are doing well, you are rated 1 to 5. Overall in the industry, that rating system is kind of same. So 1 is very good, 2 is like after 1, so it's kind of good but not very good. Then 3 is average, 4 is below average, and 5th is need improvement. So if you are doing good, that is 1, then in that case you can expect a good performance bonus, that is apart from your salary. And second, then in that case 120% maybe. In third, it would be like 100%, so like that. Then annual appraisals. So these are inflation adjusted appraisals. So every year our inflation is increasing. So accordingly, companies also need to increase your salary as well. So this also occurs. These cycles also occur every year in every organization. So this annual percent differs. See, I'll tell you, in India's case, inflation is around 6 to 7%. But in corporates, usually you can, means at least I have experienced around 8 to 10% appraisal every year. So this is again performance based. If you are performing good, then you can expect this much percent. If you are performing average, then you can expect a little less. So this is annual appraisals. Then periodic and skill based promotion. You will be promoted to next role based on your skills acquired and the requirement of that particular project. So these cycles do occur. So it's not like you will be stuck at one role unless you are not upscaling or learning anything new, or moving into one direction that you want. Then health and life insurance benefits are also available in every corporate that you go. Provident fund and gratuity are also part of the compensation package wherever you go. Then leaves and flexible working. So you are entitled to around 20 plus leaves every year, and the flexible working option is also available based on your needs. Like you are allowed to work from home or other city if you want. So that is again a perk of this corporate benefit. Moving on to what exactly is clinical research. So as defined by the GCP, that is good clinical practices. Clinical research is any human research that evaluates health related interventions ethically. So let's take an understanding compared to example of COVID. So in COVID-19, people started experiencing then this COVID like symptoms. So what pharma companies went back to, they conducted experiments and came up with certain molecules, and those molecules were tested in human subjects. So after evaluating their safety and efficacy in human subjects, those were marketed as treatment for COVID. So the vaccines that you took from AstraZeneca or India's this BioSerum or something like that, Covaxin, yeah, Covaxin, Covishield. So these vaccines were a result of clinical research. In terms of COVID, there were some exceptions made because of which these vaccines came to market pretty early, like in very expedited duration, like let's say less than 2 years, we can say. But in real world cases, this entire process is very time cumbersome. You can expect around 5 to 10 years for a new drug to come into the market after that entire drug molecule was invented, because this entire process has to go through a stringent quality, safety and efficacy process, and it is very regulated. There are regulations in place which continuously monitor that whichever trial is being performed by any pharmaceutical company, it is being managed ethically. It's not like we are considering patients as just a resources. We can't just sacrifice patients like rats in labs. So that's the reason why this clinical research is very regulated industry. Then simple meaning is testing treatments and diagnostics to improve treatment care. So whichever new molecule that is invented in lab or whichever is identified from the observatory studies, that is tested in human subjects, so that next patients can be improved, their quality of life can be improved. Then, from regulatory perspective, any human study that evaluates health or diseases or treatment outcomes is also considered as a clinical research. So, this clinical research is human focused. There are two parts to this clinical research. Any molecule, any new molecule, pharmacy people will be more aware of this fact. Any molecule which is invented for the first time, that is first tested in animals like rats, guinea pigs, etc. Guinea pigs are not used extensively now, but rats are there. Then this mouse rats are there, and monkeys are there. Why? Because their genetic composition is resembling to humans, because of which we test these drugs first in animals and see if they are safe, at least safe in animals. Then we move to human trials. Then this is a science to care. It bridges the gap between the drug that is identified in lab with the patient care. Then clinical research domains. So there are various domains available. Site management. So see, whichever clinical trial that occurs is mainly divided into different aspects. So first thing is site. So how exactly clinical trials occur? I'll give you a brief idea. So if a new drug is identified or invented, then subjects are enrolled at a site level. So site can be any hospital or institute. Okay, at that particular level, at that particular site, subjects are enrolled into the study. They are administered treatment. So there are personnel available there. Doctor is there, that is investigator. Clinical research coordinator is there. So they perform these actions. So treatment is administered to patient. Then that patient is followed up for certain period of time. Okay, so there is a CRA, clinical research associate, who is there to monitor these particular functions. Then data management activities are there. So whichever data that is collected as a part of these particular tests, that is generated and that is managed by one particular team. Then there is safety monitoring. So during this particular trial, if subject is experiencing any adverse event, for example, suppose a subject is enrolled for a treatment related to cardiovascular conditions, but subject started experiencing migraine or acute headache because of administration of a drug, then it should be reported promptly to regulatory authority. And if these particular symptoms are common across all the subjects, then those regulatory authorities are there to take appropriate action to discontinue the treatment or the trial. depending upon the data that is available. Then next part is writing and submission domain. So whichever data that is collected as a part of this entire trial, that needs to be submitted to regulatory authorities. So that is where medical writing and regulatory submission part comes into picture. Then there is SDTM and biostats domain as well, where they convert this SDTM domain converts this raw data into the actionable tabulation modules, which is then submitted to regulatory authorities. Biostatistics team is responsible for study design. Then they are responsible for analyzing the data and then coming up or drawing the conclusions based on the data. Then project management part is also there, in where entire life cycle of this entire study or any clinical research study that is managed by these professionals from start to end. So these are different and key domains that are available in clinical research. So what are the career options that are available in these domains? We will just take a look at those. So in site management, these are the key people or key roles that are available. So as clinical research coordinator, they usually perform this clerical work, and they perform assessments as well at site level. So suppose subject appears for a visit, so these people administer them drug, and they also record whichever observations are there. Then clinical trial assistants are just assistants to these clinical research coordinator for the clerical work. Then principal investigators are generally the doctor people. So those are the folks who kind of are oversight to these operations. Then clinical research associates are closely linked with sponsors, because they monitor this entire flow, this site management. So they are kind of check, we can say, cross checking entire things that are being done at a site level. Then data management and biostat, there are different roles. Clinical data manager. So these clinical data managers are responsible for managing the data that is entered into electronic data capture systems. Clinical programmers are the associates who program these databases. So they there are various databases that are available in clinical research. For example, Rave, that is iMedidata, M.Pharm, Oracle, etc. Then Viva Vault is also there. So these clinical programmers are responsible for building this database, so that clinical research coordinators can enter the data. Clinical data manager can review the data, whatever is entered by the clinical research coordinator. Then medical coders are also there. So what's their job profile? Whichever adverse event terms or concomitant medication terms that are entered by site, they need to be coded universally. So that's their job. So they code it based on different dictionaries that are available, like Medra. Medra dictionary is there for AE terms. Then WhoDD is the dictionary that is available for concomitant medications. Then biostatisticians are responsible for study design, as I said before. So they also draw conclusions based on the data that has been entered. So they are also kind of a monitoring part. SDTMs are responsible for converting this raw data set into the tabulation models, so that they can be presented to regulatory authorities. Then next is regulatory safety and writing. So here there are different roles, like regulatory affairs specialist or manager. They are responsible for submission of these regulatory documents to the authorities. So they need to ensure that these are submitted within timelines and in required format. Then there is pharmacovigilance associate, or we can say PV associate. They are responsible for analyzing, classifying the safety part, like whichever adverse events or adverse drug reactions that are reported by the subject, they are responsible to categorize them and then report it to the sponsor. Then medical writers are responsible for creating a protocol, which is kind of a master document of any clinical research, and also they are responsible for writing clinical study reports, which are created at the end of any study. So that is also a critical role. Then project management and quality part, there are these roles available. Clinical trial managers are responsible for overall project management. Quality assurance auditor is also a role available, wherein all these activities are audited intermittently by a sponsor, so that they can ensure that everything is working correctly. Then project manager is the role. This is the role that I am currently aspiring and working towards. So in here, I'll be kind of oversighting everything that is ongoing in these clinical research. So these are the different roles that are available in any clinical research. So whenever you are applying for job, then you can look out for these roles, like what's exactly the role that is being offered by any organization, so that you can prepare for your interview. Moving on to the sponsors and CROs, what's the difference between a sponsor and a CRO? So see, as the word suggests, sponsor is the person who pays for anything. So the sponsors that are listed on this side, Pfizer, Novartis, Amgen, Sanofi, Novo Nordisk. So these all organizations are sponsor organizations. So they pay for everything that is being done. And CROs are clinical research organization. So most of the CROs are present in India. So these are key examples like IQVIA, Icon, Parexel, Fortria, TCS, Cognizant. So what they usually do is they are having contract with these organizations that suppose these many activities will be done by us for this much amount. So these organizations will hire associates like clinical research professionals. They will train them and get the things done, and they will charge these associates for the particular task. So you can aspire to start with these CRO organizations, and last or ultimate goal should be to work with the sponsor organizations, because Indian market is evolving right now. Earlier, what was the case? Like let's say 5 years ago, CROs were dominant in India market. So 90% of the workforce that was working in India in clinical research domain, that was working in these organizations. But in last 5 years, these sponsor organizations have started their GCC, that is Global Capacity Centers, in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai. So what they are doing is, instead of letting their work out to these CRO organizations, they are hiring professionals, our clinical research professionals directly, so that they can save some money and they can have direct control. So ultimate goal is to work with these sponsor organizations, so it will help in your career. Moving on to the key locations that are available, that are there in clinical research. So see, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, and New Delhi, these are the key locations where everything is being done right now. So apart from these locations, there are a few other locations like Kochi, Calcutta is there, Mysore is there, but you can expect only one or two companies there. If you want to excel in your career, my recommendation would be relocate to any of these locations, at least top three locations, and then you'll be having much more opportunities available there. Then modes of work available in this field are in office, hybrid, and remote. So few organizations like mine and even other organizations, they expect you to work from office for all 5 days. But there are some organizations like sponsor organizations, they expect employees to work for only 2 days or 3 days from office. And there are few organizations which allow remote working. So you can work from home on your laptop. Then how? This is very important. This is we are moving towards our last section of presentation. How to get there? We have now understood like why exactly is clinical research field a booming field, or what are the perks that are there, and what is exactly the composition of this clinical research industry? What are the roles available? So how to get there? So see, this there are two main what we can say skills that are required: technical skills and soft skills. So let's go to technical skills first. So ICH GCP knowledge is very much required. ICH is International Conference of Harmonization, and good clinical practices. So those, there are many guidelines that are available there in this ICH GCP. You need to be thorough with these guidelines, because these are extensively being followed in any clinical research field, any clinical research role. So that is required. Then clinical trial phases. What are the different phases? How the process flow is actually working in clinical trials. Then MS Office skills like Excel, Word, PowerPoint. On top of that, you can also learn Visual Basics, SAS, and any other skill that you can think of. AI foundations and latest trend is also required. See, in here, my recommendation will be to at least have some foundation courses done before appearing for interview. It is very much required, because see, right now everyone is expecting something related to AI in your profile. So this is again very much required. Then soft skill part, verbal and written communication skill. This is of paramount importance. See, verbal, if you can't represent your case, then you can't expect next person to just telepathically understand what your thoughts are, or what your representation of a one particular case is. So you need to be absolutely thorough with your verbal and communication skills. Verbal as in you can portray whatever you want to say, and written as in your mail communication skills, how you are connecting with your superiors or your peers, etc. Then adaptability and flexibility. You should be able to learn in every situation. You should be flexible enough to switch domains, and cross function complete the cross functional trainings, so that you can incorporate those learnings in your activities. Then time management and prioritization is also required. You should be self sufficient to prioritize tasks, because in here, like when you start working in industry, you'll be bombarded with 10 things at a time, but you should be the one who should be able to prioritize things, and at the same time you should be communicating this with your superiors to know their preferences, because at times, see, that's where the communication gap occurs. The thing or the activity that you feel is prioritized, it may be a possibility that it actually is not on prioritization list as per your superiors, and since they are having more experience, they are the right people to judge that prioritization part as well. So you should be having this clear communication with them to understand the prioritization. Then problem solving and interpersonal skills, these are again required. See, most of the time you'll be working in a team, so you should be, good enough, or you should be mature enough to, collaborate with your team members, so that your work is getting done well. Because you will, more often than not, you will find that on one particular task there are more than two people that are working. So in that case, you need to collaboratively work with that person and get the thing resolved. So that is again an important skill. So these are the competency requirements, like technical skills and soft skills. These are like key requirements. Apart from that, apart from these skills, whichever additional skills that you can have, that is a plus point or bonus. Now, how to get there, how to prepare for this technical skills? So first option is online certifications. You can opt in for any online certification that is available for clinical research knowledge, this AI training, anything. Then there are offline courses that are available, that are being conducted, so as per your availability and money wise perspective, because in here you can see online courses are comparatively cheaper compared to offline, but they will be having a kind of a limited or brief exposure to, the content material that is required. In offline courses, you have to be there, you have to attend these courses and learn through their course material dedicatedly. Then self exploration and preparation. So if you are not ready with this online certification or on offline courses, you can do it on your own as well, but this is kind of a hard part, because you need to, categorize everything, like what exactly is ongoing. You need to identify. So first you need to search and identify what is required, and then you need to prepare accordingly. So these are the three options that are available to prepare for technical skills. For soft skill perspective, consistent practice is the only way to improve your verbal and communication skill. You can, start practicing with your peers and peers in terms of your to improve your communication skill. Then self awareness, like first you need to identify how you are in terms of those skills, then only you can excel in that way. Then active feedback, you can discuss your strategies and discuss your skills, and after practicing with your peers, they can provide you feedback and you can work on that feedback. So that is how it works. And breaking the comfort zone, you can't just be stuck in one particular level and expect that things will turn overnight. So you need to consistently improve, and then only you can prepare. Okay, so this is the course, Advanced Clinical Research Certification, ISA, GCP and Trials. So this is the course that I have created on Udemy. So this particular course is having fundamentals of clinical research, good clinical practices, ethics that are there in clinical research, clinical trial phases, roles and responsibilities of different roles. Those are in very much detailed way. Clinical research coordinator, clinical research associate, data manager, pharmacovigilance professional, medical writing professionals. There are also SDTM and programmers there as well. Then I have provided regulatory framework as well. Then the interview questions that you can expect for all these roles, and the preparation tips that will help you in, while preparing this thing. And also the job application guidance. I'm not sure if I should be sharing this, but there is only one key mistake that I can see that associates are doing these days. See, thing is like now how this job market is working. So whenever there are openings in one particular organization, HRs or recruiters are posting those particular messages. So this is cold messaging to the people from that organization barely works, because these people are not responsible for hiring part. So that is one thing. And if there is a post saying that there are openings, then you can't just comment interested in that comment section. That is not going to help. So job application guidance is also provided in my course as well. So you can go through there, or you can search for active or valid ways to search your job after upskilling again. Then access to the course. So once you enroll for this course, then access is lifetime. Whichever amendments that are done time to time in guidelines, regulatory framework, I'll be including in that course again and again over the period of time, and the cost is very negligible, I think around 500 rupees or something. So yeah, so how this course will help you get hired? So that's a job ready focus. So I have prepared the content in such a way that whichever jobs that are there in clinical research, you will be ready in terms of their particular responsibilities. Then gap is solved. Whatever that you can expect in the interviews, I have tried to cover everything in that interview section part. Then practical understanding, I have illustrated examples from real world industry, like what are the challenges and what are the key pain areas that we are facing in industry and how we are moving around that thing. Then interview confidence, after completing the course you will definitely have confidence to appear for the interview and make your mark. And industry breach. So I have provided case studies and MCQs that will help you think like a professional. So end result is that after completing the course, you will feel upskilled and you can walk the talk. So see, thing is like in any clinical research interview, there will be, if there are 10 associates who are appearing for the interview, you should be talking the language that is there in industry. So how you can do that? I have told you the ways. There are online, offline certification you can prepare on your own. That's your choice. The easy way is to have a course enroll which is having everything there in place, so you can just go through it, and if you can produce at least half of what you have learned, then you can definitely be ahead in that race. You can be at least in top 5%. So that's the main goal. Okay, so that is enough about course. Next topic is latest trends in clinical research. What's happening in clinical research? So decentralized clinical trials. It is ongoing like for a long time now. Let's say for 5 years now, but it is still kind of in ideation phase, we can say. So how it is being done? Earlier the conventional clinical research model was like that. Subject used to go to site, they used to administer the medication, used to go home. So there were challenges in this particular process. Subjects had to travel, the travel money was there. Then there was defaulter percentage was also there, like subject used to not appear for taking the medicine, so results were being impacted. Then there was cost also involved, so there was a lot of cost in. See, in any clinical research, if subjects are traveling for administering a medicine, then sponsor has to pay them to get that medicine administered. So that cost was also involved. So that's the reason why recently decentralized clinical trials are coming into the picture, where telemedicine is new hot favorite. In telemedicine, usually on telephone, investigators or doctors connect with the patients or subjects at home. These medicines are delivered to them by courier or so, and then they are directed or instructed to how to take the medicine, how exactly the dosage should be, and at what time it should be taken and all. Then e-diary is nothing like our tab or our smartphone devices. So in that, if a subject is experiencing something, then those symptoms or whichever challenges that they are facing, they can record them in that e-diary. So based on their responses, investigators can come up with whatever is happening with the study or the subject. Then wearables are nothing like a smart watch, Apple Watch, smartwatch, anything like that. So it's not like Apple Watch will be used for clinical trials, but they will be having their designated devices available. Subjects will be requested to wear those devices, and based on the data that is being generated by those wearables, studies will be conducted and results will be drawn. So this is decentralized clinical trials. Then next is risk-based monitoring or RBQM. So in here, data-driven strategy is being followed. What earlier used to be the case, suppose there are 100 subjects in any in one clinical trial, and there are thousands of CRFs that are available. CRFs as in case report forms. So earlier conclusions would be drawn based on all the 1,000 CRFs that are entered in the database. But current or latest approach is that let's exclude non-essential parameters that are there. Let's focus on the key parameters that are required for our study purpose, and based on those key parameters, we will be coming up with our conclusions or our results. So these critical to quality factors are estimated at the start of the study by the medical team, and then based on these critical to quality parameters, the study is monitored and the trends are observed, so that they can come up with the conclusions very fast and in very optimal way. So this is again one of the latest trends, RBQM. Then AI and machine learning, yes, of course, a hot topic. So how AI and machine learning is helping in clinical research? So in trial design and protocol optimization, see, as I said before, trial like usual clinical research trial duration is around 5 to 10 years since that molecule is approved. Like any investigational new drug application is approved by any regulatory authority, it usually takes 5 to 10 years. So how we can save time? That's where AI and machine learning is coming to picture. So protocol optimization, as in key protocol parameters are segregated, identified, and based on that, CRF designs are created. So that's where we are creating tools. Then there are protocol deviations that are there in database, any database. Suppose site has deviated from whatever is said in the protocol. So in that case, if protocol deviation occurs at a site, then we have created AI tools so that based on the data that has been entered by site, we can analyze if the protocol deviation is major or minor. So that is a use of this AI. Then in patient recruitment and retention phase as well, they are incorporating different tools. So see, end result is that they are making the process more and more efficient and less time consuming, so that less human intervention is required, and it is eventually cutting the cost as well as the time. So that's the reason why you should be understanding this AI part and machine learning part very well. Because see, if you are having basic or fundamental understanding of how that thing works, then based on your clinical research knowledge, you can suggest whatever process improvement that you can expect in that particular thing. So you can collaborate with AI developers and get the solutions incorporated. All right. So that's all that I had. Any questions that you have?
There are few questions in the chat box. Can you read from
Okay.
there?
Wait, let me check. I'll just stop presenting, I think. Is my screen sharing still on?
No, it's all.
Okay. All right. Okay. Better. How can we better integrate clinical research and formulation stability? Ways the clinical trials and to prepare for the students and the sports. Okay. Okay. How about virtual reality simulations? Okay, I'll take the easiest one first. What is the basic educational qualification required for the clinical research? So, any life sciences degree is a basic qualification. You and along with that, you must be an excellent communicator. Your communication skills should be good. Pharmacy is a bonus. B.Pharm is a bonus, and on top of that, if you are having master's degree, then it will raise your pay to a certain level. So I think I have answered that question. How might virtual simulations or AI-driven digital tools application transformation? Okay. I need to check for these things. These two questions. I'll note this down. These things. If you can connect with me on LinkedIn, maybe then I can give you detailed insights into these questions.
With respect to the first one, which one?
The AI one.
Okay, AI one. Okay.
Yeah.
How might virtual reality simulators or AI-driven digital twins of patients revolutionize clinical trial recruitment and retention, especially in diverse populations like? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's
Because
a
the
very
thing is like, na, yeah. Because thing
okay.
is like, na, my core domain is clinical data management. So whichever is related to that field, I can be thorough. I can hit the ball for six. But with respect to this particular question, I need
Digital.
to connect with me peers and check if what exactly is the recent practice that is being followed.
Okay.
And
They
also for
might
this
help. They
pharmaceutics.
might, with respect to digital twins or simulations, they can help in identifying the uh, population in a better way. Means now currently we you can say it is a very laborious process with respect to how we are recruiting subjects for our study. So what AI or these simulations or I'm not very sure whether they have started implementing these things, but you can use these technologies to shortlist those patients in a easier way. That's one thing that can be that's as far as my understanding goes. So in a specific way, as Amit already said, we can get more information after consulting an expert or someone, isn't it?
Yes. So main challenge in recruiting patients in rural India is educating people.
Hmm.
So we need to first educate them with respect to technology. So then this AI things come into picture. And yes, this will definitely save time, this virtual reality simulation. But again, it has to be incorporated in an efficient way, and how we need to first train them. Then we can think of including it in a clinical trial.
Of course, that means, of course, the ethical aspects or the legal approval process or everything has to be considered for that.
Yeah, because see, I'll tell you one of the examples from my studies. So I'm not disclosing anything, but thing is like even in case of developed nation, we are seeing the compliance percent falling because of people not understanding how to take basic medications at time. So let alone forget about the rural India where even English is a kind of alien language. So there we are seeing challenges, but yeah, it will improve. We can have simulations available in our native languages as well. That is a possibility, but yeah, we need to explore that thing.
Yes, that's a means that is a major that could have been that could be a good advantage. Means with respect to the language barrier which we face during clinical studies, that can be overcome with respect to using these technologies. The first question, as far as the pharmaceutics educator is concerned, how can we better integrate clinical research challenges like formulation stability in phase 3 trials into B.Pharm and M.Pharm curricula to prepare students for these roles? Uh, as far as my knowledge goes, if you are an educator, it is better that you can take examples which are available online, where many studies have already been published, means the previous studies which they are already in public domain. You can take these as case studies and try to recreate them with to your students. That would be one way of doing it, isn't it, Amit?
Yes, indeed. So that is one good approach that I can say. So there are research like published clinical trials. I guess there is one clinicaltrial.gov.in. I think it's the site. So in there you can see whichever trials that are currently ongoing at all, like at world level. So from there you can definitely get the details of these particular things.
Okay. With respect to Aditya's
But
question,
but one thing, yeah,
sorry.
one thing is, yeah, see, thing is like corporates are not expecting you to know, top level knowledge for entry level roles. Yeah.
Hmm.
So for that, you need to have certain technical skills and soft skills that are required for your entry level roles. So that will help. So first, you need to integrate these things, like whichever technical skills that I have showed and whichever that you can think of, that will make your students stand out in that race.
Okay. With respect to what Aditya was asking, I guess you have already answered. I have completed B.Pharm. What should I do after getting into the field? I guess the slide where after
Yes.
B.Pharm.
So yes. So after you have completed your graduation, so now next step is upskill. So you are having this academic qualifications in place, but there are a lot of people who have also completed this graduation. So in order to be in that top 5% to be selected, you need to upskill. So you need to understand what clinical research is. You need to understand what AI is. For that, you can take courses. So whichever course that you feel comfortable with, or last option or the least option is you can search information from Google, but there you need to map that information in your mind, because see, what the benefit of courses is, it's not like I'm selling course. That's the reason why I'm saying you that okay, go and enroll for this course. But thing is like you can't map whatever information is available online. Like suppose everything is there online, no doubt about it, but you can't just categorize that into a process flow, like after that this happens, after that this happens, and what's the required thing for one particular. Okay, so should I pursue M.Pharma? So here I want to say that if your aspirations are in medical writing, there are only few fields in clinical research that require you to be M.Pharm. So clinical data management, PV, clinical research coordinator, CRC, then what else? What else? What else? What else? Project management. So in these particular roles, you don't require M.Pharm, but medical writing is the field where M.Pharma is must. So if your aspiration is M.Pharma, then yeah, you can complete. You can pursue your M.Pharm. It will help. And yeah, salaries wise as well. So these different domains I had mentioned in the slides. So there is a salary, what we can say, deviations as well. So SDTM biostat people are paid generally more. Then after that there comes programmers. So after that there comes data manager, then PV, then CRC people, like that.
Okay. One thing that I liked about the presentation was that you focused on not just on the technical skills, you focused on soft skills also. I guess that's also very much important when it comes to any career aspect, not just clinical, but you should always have that, means that is an hidden weapon, I can say. Everyone has that B.Pharm, M.Pharm, BSc, MSc, but one additional course that you don't have to pay is the soft skills. You can learn soft skills on your own, so you don't have to pay anyone. If you are good with your communication skills, or if you are good with your some other aspect or some other soft skills, that's an added advantage, isn't it?
Yeah. So see, one comparison I want to express here is, see, when I graduated in 2013, 2014, so at that time it was not required because there were not many people who were interested in this particular field. There were few people who were targeting production, marketing, R&D, F&D. There were less chunk of people that were targeting this field. But right now, since the data is available salary wise and everything, so now more and more people are attracted toward these fields, so that's why your competition is high. So that's why in order to stay ahead of the race, you need to do that. So even in my case, I had to complete my project management professional certification in order to get into my managerial role. Earlier it was not the case. The managers that I report to, they didn't complete that. It's not like I'm saying that they are not competent enough. They are competent enough, but the competition was not that fierce at that time during their career progression. But it is getting fierce day by day and year after year. So that's the reason why you need to have something to show that will weigh you more than that of your competition.
Absolutely correct.
So can we do PhD in a clinical research is the question. So yes, definitely you can. But whatever career trends or career opportunities that I have seen in this field, I have not seen any particular career opening that is requesting for a PhD in clinical research. If you have seen that, then you can definitely do that, because it's a time consuming thing. PhD in clinical research is time consuming thing. It's very good thing to have a PhD, but if it is getting you the results in terms of monetary or any other thing, then it's good. Other than that, I don't see anything, any significant value.
Okay. Aditya's question is that if he has applied multiple times, but he's not been able to meet the job requirements. So if you can, if any specific requirement comes up, if you can share with us, we will discuss on a case to case basis. So this, otherwise it would be a very random answer.
Sure.
Anything else? Yes. Okay, I guess you have covered most of the aspects related to clinical research careers and challenges associated with it. Thank you so much for your time and guiding through the entire process. You have touched upon your means what you call the what is clinical research, the soft skill part, the technical part, the requirements, and of course you have shared your compilation. It's good that you have compiled everything into one short and sweet course, so where everyone can access it in a beautiful manner. So the link also he has shared there. So thank you so much, Amit, for joining the session. Any specific thing that you want to conclude with? Otherwise, we will conclude this session.
Yeah. Apart from the link that I have shared, upskilling is the only thing that is there for all the aspirants. So get as much as skills that are required for these clinical research professional fields. And while appearing for the interview, go through the JD, what they are expecting, and accordingly prepare. You can't just have a overall overall CV prepared and appear for any random interview. You need to be preparing role specific. Suppose the interview is for a clinical data manager role, you can't just be appearing with the PV oriented or only clinical research oriented CV and present your case. You should be preparing accordingly. So that's one key note that I want to share.
Yes, means that keyword has to be there in your CV also. With whenever
Yes,
whichever
yes.
keyword is there in your JD, it should be there in your CV also. Okay, so we'll conclude here. Thank you, Amit. Hope to have you in a future session where we will discuss in detail about clinical research. Also, your project management aspect. Also, we would like to cover. So, thank you so much. I'm really thankful to each one of the participants who stayed the course throughout the session. And as I always keep saying, if anyone wants to have this certificate for this particular session and who has stayed full course, means that is the one requirement which we keep. We don't charge anything. We just want your time. Those who have stayed for 1 hour, please leave your name and Zoho ID to me personally. I will ensure that the certificates are issued. So thank you so much. I will share this recording on YouTube channel also. I'll share with you also, Amit. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Sujit. Thank you, everyone. Bye.